We hit a little bit of weather coming into Utah across the state line. It wasn't real bad. A little bit of wind, a lot of overcast, and look how beautiful it is, even with it being overcast. Look at all the animals that dot the land. I often think about, I hope that my beef and pork is being raised in places like this, where it looks like they just free range and that they're so healthy. Pennsylvania and Virginia is the same way. The animals look like they're very much taken care of. I mean, they don't look stressed. You'll see their little the cow's tail wagging. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's some mountains right there. You see that that white on top of the mountains there? That's snow up there. That tells you the temperature up there is colder. We're at Morton Salt in Salt Lake City, Utah, picking up our reload, taking it to California. I was supposed to be there the day before, but and of course they reminded me of that in shipping, but I didn't argue with them. There was no sense in it. They don't understand the hours of service and how I was out of time the day before, and so they made me wait. I was probably there like 4 hours, and they loaded me to the gills. Heavy load. I tell you what, it was so heavy. So we finally got loaded. Once we got, I don't know, maybe an hour south of Salt Lake, the traffic thinned out substantially. We're traveling on I-15 southbound, which runs right through Utah all the way down to and through Las Vegas. We ended up staying on 15 all the way to California. And it was a nice day out, 73 degrees. I'm surfing on the radio trying to find something good to listen to. And I was enjoying it. I wasn't too much enjoying that old heavy load though. Right now it's flat driving, but we'll be hitting some hills here shortly. And I'll tell you what, that Detroit motor was just screaming, going up the mountain with that almost 45,000 pounds. Yeah, it was a beautiful day out. You couldn't ask for a better day. I was just enjoying the ride. Eventually, I couldn't get any good radio signals, so I was talking to a buddy on the phone back in Tennessee, and he used to team with Covenant Transport when he first started, and he used to go out west like all the time. Here's where we're climbing the hill. I think we're doing like 25 mile an hour trying to get up this hill, and was just enjoying it. But I wasn't too much enjoying the work of that motor and everything. You know, I was thinking as I was coming through there, matter of fact, I think I was telling my buddy Steven that when you think about all the people in the United States, something like 300 million, But when you look at all the unused land, it's like, man, we could be like China and have 1 billion people. I mean, especially when you get out west. It ain't like the East Coast, which is heavily populated. But we were just talking about all that type stuff and the wildlife, and seen a lot of wildlife out there, even in the daytime. Mostly livestock, but yeah, I think we're starting to go downhill a little bit now. Got a little curve here. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of traffic, but sometimes it does get a little boring out here because, you know, you're just there to yourself, and you don't have the radio station, or you ain't talking to somebody on the phone. I mean, you're still paying attention to what you're doing, but yeah, we're going downhill here, and we're thinking about staying the night in Las Vegas. There's a truck stop called the Wild Wild West that's right there within walking distance to the Strip. But by the time I got close down there, I had decided against it, because I felt like if I went down there and walked around and stayed out and got something to eat, and probably had got something, souvenirs or whatnot, and I said, you know what, I better get my tail to sleep. And there go a farm tractor of some type. I said I better get my rest and make sure I get to the customer on time, because I still had a lot of hills to cross going into California, and it was an Albertsons distribution center. And if you know anything about those grocer warehouses, they take by appointment only, and if you miss your appointment, well, you might be sitting on that load for a day or so. And there was no truck stops around there, so we sure didn't want to have to go through that. So we decided against it. We ended up staying in North Las Vegas at the Loves there. Got there early enough to get a spot, and there's some more mountains there. Of course, in the winter, we all know what that would look like. But the further south we got down through here, you started to see a change in the landscape. You started to see more rocky landscape, a little bit less vegetation, warmer. We came through a town right there on the southwest corner of Utah. It looked like it was pretty heavily populated. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head. But, I mean, it looked like Arizona. I mean, but we were still in Utah. And you'll see some houses here up in a minute, up on the horizon. I mean, it really reminded me of Arizona. Of course, we're about to cross the border in Arizona. I wish I'd have had the camera going when I came through that canyon. Forget the name of that canyon. Yeah, there's some houses up there on the horizon. They're up on the hill. I mean, it's amazing how different it was from northern Utah. But anyway, we're coming to a close on this video. Be sure to check out the sequels to Las Vegas and California. We did a bunch of filming in California, so those videos will be coming up right here shortly, as I got time and the energy to go back and edit them. But it was a great trip. It was one of the cross-country trips for the month of May 2018, and I'm sure we'll be doing many more. before it's over with, because we do have accounts out that way. So if I'm lucky enough to get them, then we sure will be taking them.